On August 11, 2016, the Utah Court of Appeals entered its decision in re AC. A link to that decision is provided here and in the description section of this video report. In that case, CC, the father, appealed the order terminating his parental rights in the child AC. The Utah Court of Appeals affirmed the decision of the juvenile court. Under Utah Code Section 78A6507, the finding of a single ground will support termination of parental rights. The juvenile court concluded many grounds existed that justified terminating the father's parental rights. The father abandoned AC, neglected or abused AC, was an unfit or incompetent parent, and made only token efforts to support or communicate with AC. The court also found that, quote, there had been a failure of parental adjustment on the part of the father in that he has been unable or unwilling within a reasonable time to substantially correct the circumstances, conduct, or conditions that led to the placement of AC outside the home, close quote. The court further concluded that the child had been in and out of home placement under the supervision of the juvenile court and the Division of Child and Family Services, or DCFS. The court also found the father had substantially neglected, willfully refused, or had been unable or unwilling to remedy the circumstances that caused the child to be in and out of home placement, and that there is a substantial likelihood that the father will not be capable of exercising proper and effective parental care in the near future. After finding grounds for termination, the court concluded it was in the child's best interest that father's parental rights be terminated. The Utah law requires that a court make two distinct findings before terminating a parental-child relationship. First, the court must find that the parent is below some minimum threshold of fitness, such as a finding that a parent is unfit or incompetent based on any of the grounds for termination in Section 78A6507. Second, the court must find that the best interest and welfare of the child are served by terminating parental rights. On appeal, father challenged only the sufficiency of the evidence to support the juvenile court's findings that there are grounds for termination under some subsections of 78A6507. Father did not challenge all of the juvenile court's 78A6507 findings that he abandoned AC or that he made only token efforts to avoid being an unfit parent. Either of those unchallenged grounds is sufficient to support the juvenile court's determination that there were grounds for the termination of parental rights. Because the father did not challenge the statutory grounds of abandonment or token efforts, the court did not need to review his claim that the evidence was insufficient to support the remaining grounds for termination. Father also challenged the sufficiency of the evidence to support the finding that it was in AC's best interest to terminate parental rights, arguing that the court erred in finding that the complete severance of any father-child relationship was in the child's best interest. Determining a child's best interest in termination of parental rights proceedings is a subjective assessment based on the totality of the circumstances. Therefore, evidence that proves one or more statutory grounds for termination of parental rights may also constitute evidence demonstrating that termination is in the child's best interest, but the court's focus should be on the impact of termination on the child. There was ample evidence supporting the juvenile court's findings in this case. The juvenile court's determination of AC's best interest was amply supported by the evidence before it. As the Court of Appeals recently stated, the speculative possibility of father experiencing a dramatic transformation and providing AC with a positive, loving, nurturing relationship with his extended family must be weighed against father's real-world actions as found by the court, which included, in this case, father's abandonment of AC, his repeated incarceration, and his failure to make anything more than token efforts to become a fit parent and regain custody. Because a foundation for the court's decision exists in the evidence, the Court of Appeals affirmed the juvenile court's order terminating the father's parental rights.